intent is a big deal.
Yeah,
I agree there. Intent is a huge.
Oh no, it
deal.
is. It's extremely important.
People can do things that seem good at face value.
Oh yeah.
But when you examine the intent behind them, they are nefarious.
Or the actions,
it is not pure.
It's hideous.
So I can say something real quick. I think we tend to judge people, whether they're good or bad, more based off their actions.
No, I think it's based more on what people around us think.
Though. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Because the action could be bad.
the innocent dupe.
The action could be bad, but the intention could be good.
You know what?
Maybe I slammed on my brakes on the highway to avoid killing a child.
Well, let's see, that's a good example.
Now,
this is a good example.
Thank you.
That actually gets an individual.
Okay, well, let him tell his example.
Right. So you all think this asshole just slammed on his brakes on the highway and just inconvenienced literally hundreds of people. But you know what? I saved a life. So even though all you see is my action, you didn't see that little girl across the street.
Right.
Yeah. What was my intention behind it? My intention was to not kill this little girl.
And it's tricky, right? Because you never know somebody's intention unless you truly like kind of know them as a person or talk to them. So when you're like judging people, deciding if this is good, this is bad, do I like this, do I not? You're judging them based off all the actions and not the intentions. We agree with that, right? Yeah, intentions do matter.
Intentions are so much harder to tease out, though.
It's harder, exactly, and that's the one. Like that's the problem when it comes to like
because
all this
actions
shit.
are visible.
Oh, visible.
Actions hit the objective
and
world
I think,
that we all have to deal with. Versus intention. Intention is just what someone thought what they thought they were trying to.
And I think I can
do.
tie this back into what we were talking about with God and creation. And everything is like that's why. I feel like that's why science has converted so many people to being atheistic is because they can show it. They can show you graphs. They can show you numbers. They can show you charts. They show you all these things. When believing in God, it comes from right here for me. Something you can't see.
Or maybe
that's seen as believing.
Maybe actually what it is it's a reflection of the temptation story that people who lived in paradise still made the wrong choice. Maybe.
Well, I think it comes down to. When it comes to making choices, we have to fight our desires and our preferences. When it comes to a lot of shit.
Ooh, that gets to the reptile brain, if you will.
And that's
a whole other thing.
Well, that's what it is. But I've been thinking a lot about just free will. I've been listening to fucking this audiobook that Phil told me. It's called Human Action. It talks about free will and how humans make choices and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
And one thing that, like, the one part that really got my brain going, like...
Yeah, dude, talk about this, because you're reading Human Action for the first time. Do you know that people...
Well, I'm listening to it.
Well, okay, it doesn't matter if it's the audio book or not, but I'm telling you, if you make a little video journal. Make a little video journal and like, put Ludwig von Mises on it. I'm telling you, people who go to that website, Mises.org, you know, the university with the free library and all of the article writers and all of those people, they'll see that video.
Yeah.
People love accounts of people being exposed to that kind of material the first time.
Well, that's why to me, like, after listening to this human video, like Ludwig von Mises, dude, it's actually given me more belief, more faith, and more evidence that God does exist, because he gave us free will. He gave us a spirit, and he gave us the ability, we can fight our sexual desires. We can choose, even though I prefer to go to bed, I can choose to get my ass up and go to the gym. I have the ability to make that choice. If I'm hungry, I can choose not to eat. You know what I mean? Animals don't have that. We have that. And it's obviously something special because we're the only fucking people that do.
So that's an example of why God exists?
To me, yeah. To me, after listening to this, is it free will? I did not
see that coming.
So to me, free will is something. To me, free will is something that God gifted us. I believe
it is. Oh, it's wonderful. You know what's really remarkable is that the jump from animal, like an evolved animal that just, does what it does, right? On instinct, it eats and it breeds and it does what it does, to having consciousness. That's only like step 17 in the complete disconnect of nothing to willfully acting human beings. There's probably 117.
Humans are the only thing in the world that has consciousness? We can do,
Yeah.
we
We're
can,
the only thing in the world.
we can do sign language with gorillas.
Because we taught them that, though. Because we taught them that.
Sure,
though.
but they
you can train an animal to do things, but the animal can't choose to do things.
We taught them our language. If they had the ability, they could teach us their language. Would you say that animals do not communicate with each other? Animals have their own language.
Are you familiar?
Animals easily look at sonar. Look at whales talking to each other. Okay, hold on.
No, go ahead.
My turn.
Yeah.
My turn for a second. Okay.
Okay.
There are again, as with everything in the world, it's a spectrum. Okay. There isn't any. You can't take a magic marker and draw a magic line between
what's a spectrum?
humans. Everything is
Everything's on a spectrum.
Yes. Okay.
So there's.
Hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
Again, I can't make it 2 sentences without you jumping in. You gotta.
Everything's on a spectrum is a pretty.
Come on, we need to bring out the.
That's a pretty bold assertion. I just.
This is the talking bottle.
The moment I heard spectrum.
You don't have the bottle.
We got the bottle.
Whoever's got the bottle is only one that can speak.
Okay, so it's hard to maintain my train of thought when I'm constantly interrupted. Humans are not the only thing that have consciousness, okay? Everything has consciousness. Fucking ants have consciousness. They are doing a thing. They know what they're doing. They can choose to go do something else. Guess what? You get a retarded ant that's born out of an egg that doesn't do the right thing. He's not going to be very successful, okay? Oh, Phil.
No, I'm just.
You don't have the bottle, dude.
You can't even contain it with body language either.
I know. Hold on. It's impossible. It's just not. That's not part of my constitution.
I just saw a thing on the interwebs today about how
Chad's got the bottle. So
do you think you're the only one who uses grandma to watch your kids while you're busy? And it showed this thing with orca whales. Mean. Orca whales, where grandma was watching the calf while mom and dad went off and did their own thing. Look at dolphins and the way that they communicate with each other and the things that they do for each other. Did you know that humans are not the only animal in the world that engages in homosexuality? Male dolphins will fuck around with each other for fun.
But do they know that that's another male?
Yep.
Do they know, or do they just see a dolphin and want to fuck?
They're not successfully having sex. They're just pleasuring each other.
Okay.
That's a thing.
So they just like getting off.
One interjection.
Same thing with cats. How they say that humans are the only animal in the world that kills for fun. No, orca whales and the typical house cat have been documented to just plain kill for fun. I think I heard something about leopards once, but I don't know if that's really true because I think that was kind of like a wild situation. Anyway, the point here is that there's nothing special about human consciousness, okay? I shouldn't say that. There is something. The one thing that's special about human consciousness is how elevated it is, okay? We are not the only beings in the world that are conscious. Everything has consciousness. You hit a dog, it gets upset, okay? Everything understands to some level, to some degree, cause and effect, okay? If you hit that dog after it jumps on the counter or whatever.
Cause and effect doesn't require consciousness.
Phil, you don't have the talking bottle.
Okay. But it doesn't. I mean, come on.
Just let Chad finish.
No, I agree with that.
You know that.
But I feel like I need to explain that in order to get this point across because you're saying that humans are the only things that have consciousness.
Yeah, but an instinctual reaction, that's part of cause and effect. That doesn't say anything about
this goes back to the same thing Doug was just talking about how when we
tree grows towards the light.
Is it you don't have the talking bottle.
Phil, shut up. Okay, listen. When we as animals, okay, you see $1 million sitting in a briefcase on the sidewalk and there's no one around. Your gut instinct is like, holy shit, that's mine. Got it. Finders keepers, I'm $1 million rich, right?
Right.
But your mature conscious brain goes, wait, Doug, maybe that's not the right decision. Maybe I should turn it into charity.
Yeah. Well, that comes with questioning your integrity.
Officers. Yeah, exactly. So, same thing with a dog. Okay, I'll bring that back to the dog.
Okay.
Even though you can put a bone on the counter and that dog knows that bone is not for him, does he still want it?
Yes.
You goddamn right he does.
Okay.
But
so a dog is able to fight his desires too.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That's how you train dogs. You see my point?
I do.
See my point?
I do.
So,
Okay.
also
Okay.
done
So
with training
other creatures. Let me finish my point, and then I will pass this to you gladly. I will pass this to you happily. So, even though that dog knows I want that bone is for me. I fucking want it. I'm gonna love that fucking thing. Is he gonna go get it? No, because you've taught him. He has learned that is not for him right now. You need to wait your fucking turn, and I'll give you that bone when I'm ready to give it to you. Or maybe that bone's not for you at all. Yeah. And that dog will learn to fight his lizard brain, so to speak, or reptile brain, whatever it's called, and wait. We will fight his instincts.
He'll fight his desires to want that bone. So he chooses not to jump on the counter and eat that bone.
That dog is making a choice, a conscious choice. That proves my point about consciousness among other creatures than just humans. Please respond.
Phil doesn't agree. Phil's shaking his head over there.
Why does the dog need to be trained?
Because the same reason humans need to be trained.
Okay, wait. I think I see what Phil.
Boom.
No.
The same reason humans need to be trained. Phil.
Why does a dog need to be trained?
Because it can't make the right choice. Because it's an animal,
just like humans.
No, because you need to alter its order of preference.
Just like humans.
It's just you didn't accomplish anything with the dog thing.
I think he
differentiate
did,
the dog from humans, please, Phil.
No,
differentiate the dog. The dog
basically,
from
all you've done is justify people categorizing other people as animals. That's all you did.
That's not at all what I was talking about.
So, Phil,
you know what? When if you go to any of these countries in Africa where the black governments are now murdering white people because they farm and produce food, you go, have at it.
Well, let's stay a little bit on topic here before we get
Doug,
too far.
how about you respond to my point? What do you think?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
I do absolutely see what you're saying. And the only thing I guess would be like as a rebuttal I could say about that, is there a difference between the dog's consciousness and it just being trained in the sense like it knows something bad's going to happen? Shh. No, I mean, does the dog actually... Is it choosing to make that choice, or has it been stapled into his brain as repetition? Because he always went for that bone, and he got smacked, and he got smacked, and he got smacked, and he got smacked, and he got smacked.
This is Pavlov.